So, a little update on YouTube and my channel. Don't worry, my YouTube channel will be there and will be updated as long as YouTube in their infinite grace allows me to. Well, they demonetized my channel. And actually, I never, I've been on YouTube since, and I had this channel and uploaded videos, well, basically since the beginning of YouTube. So it's about 15 years now, almost, not quite, no, 14 years. And I never applied for monetization, but as you know, in the last couple of months, I applied for monetization, and in the beginning they told me, well, we're not quite sure if we're gonna monetize your channel. We're gonna look at it more closely. And I was like, great, finally they're gonna take a look at my channel. I mean, when do you have the opportunity of them actually looking at your videos? So as you know, so I used this opportunity to make some videos specifically for YouTube and make sure that they're on top and that they see them if they even just look at the channel a little bit, and make sure that they understand that I'm not a conservative at all. I'm not right-winged. I'm against right-winged, whatever. I'm against. And I also made that very clear, and I'm also making it clear now. I am against socialism. That doesn't mean that I'm right-winged. Quite the opposite. It means, in my opinion, at least that's my view, it means that I'm against National Socialism because, in my opinion, National Socialism is a form of socialism too. I made that very clear. So I'm against National Socialism. And I'm not at all conservative. I'm against anything that's even remotely extreme. I'm not right-winged, I'm not left-winged, I'm not anything. But I am against socialism. I made that very clear. And and YouTube now made it very clear that no, it's not okay to be against socialism, and no, we won't monetize your channel if you are against socialism. It didn't used to be like that. When YouTube started, they really emphasized the you in YouTube. It was really, when it started out, before Google bought it, it was a free speech platform. It was, everyone could broadcast himself, voice his opinions. It was a free speech platform before Google took it over. And now, after Google took it over and after they allowed some time to pass, they kind of showed their true color. Now it's not a free speech platform at all. It's no longer YouTube. You don't tube. Corporations tube. Individuals, they don't care about individuals. They don't care about the small guy voicing his opinion. They only care about corporations. And they only care about their big advertisers. And actually, not being monetized is not a big deal. I don't care about it. If I would have cared about it, I would have applied for it 10 years ago. But I know that 10 years ago, they would have granted it. I wanted to see. I intentionally waited that long because I wanted to see what they're gonna say now. I wanted to see, kind of see how much they've actually changed and how much they deviated from being YouTube, and now they're just corporation tube. And they're no longer about people expressing themselves. They're no longer about free speech. Now they're just about political correctness, which apparently means that you're not allowed to criticize socialism. Apparently that's controversial now. And I'm not the only one. As you know, a lot of people have been demonetized and kicked out of YouTube. And they always kind of use the excuse saying, well, those were Nazis. No, not, well, actually, I think none of them were Nazis. The real neo-Nazis, they're all still on YouTube. They didn't kick those off. The ones they kicked off were, basically just people criticizing socialism. There were lots of channels that they kicked off or that they demonetized because they were criticizing socialism in one way or another. And I really feel that, the US has changed a lot. I haven't been to the US for, I don't know, like 20 years. But when I was in the US back then, everyone was very friendly, welcoming, and everyone, it was the US really was about freedom of speech and about diversity, and everyone could be himself. It didn't matter where you came from. It didn't matter what opinions you had. Everyone was really open and tolerant of everyone else. That's how that's how I felt the U.S. was when I was in the U.S. 20 years ago. And that was even that was even right at the time of September 11. I experienced the U.S. shortly before September 11 and shortly after September 11. But even after September 11, they were still relatively open. And I really, I was really surprised, that they people were really accepting of other people, no matter where they were from, no matter what opinions they had. Yeah, it's no longer a place like that. Now it feels much more divided. There is a really strong division among people that didn't used to be there. There is no... People are no longer accepting of other people. They're only accepting of other people if they have the same opinions as they themselves have. If you have a different opinion, then, because somehow there is now such an extreme division among people, and people are struggling and fighting and against people with different ideologies, and it's terrible, and that's exactly what socialism is about. It's about struggle and hatred and us against them mentality, and everyone who disagrees with us, that's our enemy. That's, and I think you should be allowed to criticize that, but you're not. No longer. At least, that's no longer welcome on YouTube. It's becoming very obvious, and if it goes on like that, it will get worse and worse. So, yeah, YouTube is leaving me no choice than to, slowly also go to other places. As you know, I'm on BitChute. I'm also on Minds now. And I'm also on Parler. I'm probably the only one who pronounces it Parler. Everyone is pronouncing it Parler because they don't know how to pronounce Parler. But it's kind of like a Twitter alternative. That's actually really cool. So yeah, and probably YouTube is also gonna punish me and. Just for using those alternative platforms, and they're gonna, they're probably gonna label everyone who just uses those alternative platforms as, I don't know, right-winged or whatever, just for using them. But since you're not allowing people to speak freely, and since you're punishing people for opposing oppression and for opposing hate. You're punishing people for that. So, and you're punishing people for opposing extremism. Well, then, you're not leaving people any other choice. Yet still you claim, those people with different opinions and those smaller platforms, those are all extremists. Well, no, they're not. You're just labeling them, you know. And that's kind of the thing, you know. You shouldn't label people. You shouldn't say, "Oh, everyone who's using non-mainstream platform is an extremist or is a Nazi, or everyone who disagrees with you is a Nazi, or everyone who's white is a Nazi, or everyone who is Jewish is this or that." You know, that's precisely what is wrong. That's precisely what I think you shouldn't do. That's precisely what I oppose. That kind of hatred and categorization and demonization of everyone who thinks differently. I think you should be allowed to speak out against that. And yeah, obviously YouTube does no longer think that.